Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Doing some bright and early casting here, getting my day started off in the right track. We got game number 2 between Life and Paralyze. Game number 1 should be in the link down below. Pretty good little game. It's a nice demonstration on kind of how to hold pressure and then turn it around. I actually thought it was a really well played game from both players, actually. The thing that I would question is particularly Life's continued commitment to the aggression. I think that once he couldn't quite get that break, making all those extra Zerglings really cost him in the economy. We saw that he just wasn't able to hold off the subsequent push. We'll see what goes on this map. This map, pretty enjoyed by Zerg players. They really doing like this against Protoss. So I'm interested to see what comes out of this. If Life wants to play a more standard macro game, Paralyze are going to go for another kind of all-in-ish strategy. Who knows? We'll find out. I actually decided to play a few ladder games this morning before getting into the casting. And I don't know if anybody else that's watching is in like Silver or Gold League, and there's this weird disparity right now of talent. Like 4 or 5 months ago, Gold League was pretty tough, I thought. You know, I'd get up into Platinum, and that's generally where I'd have to sit because I was winning about half my games. Like I wasn't... Ooh, cannon time. I was not elite at that point, but I'm playing on Gold League right now, and... Ooh, and a hatch first. And what I ended up happening was I played against a guy that opened up 2 racks inside of his base. I'm like, okay, just pressure build coming at me. We'll find out. So I'll hunker down at home. I got proxy banshees on the way. I'll keep him panned or damage some economy if he comes at me. So nothing happens. I scan his base. And then, yeah, he's got 2 barracks down with tech labs on them to make marines. And I'm going to pause my story for a second. This is important. You see where these drones are dancing? He wants to check. He's not worried about getting that pylon down just yet. What he really wants to worry about is the probe. You see, there's a big bank of money right now for Paralyze. And he can see that. Nope, he spent it on the Nexus. Sometimes if you can see if in the Overlord, if the Nexus doesn't go down, then you know it's not going to be as many cannons. Costing a lot of mining time. This is a very common place to throw cannons right in here because you can pylon, and then throw a cannon behind it and force your probe out. So he's gonna get one of these cannons, but I don't know about the second. Gonna have to throw down a spine crawler, I think. No, he's actually got great surface position behind it. The probe might actually kill a drone here, though. He does. And this cannon's getting close. Zergling's on the way, Queen on the way. He's not worried about it at all. Oh, good timing. That's just Starcraft sense. Good cancel from Paralyze. But not a successful cannon rush. Back at home though, Nexus is down with their zone cannon. And there's also a good chunk of Lings out that aren't going to get a lot done. Gonna come down here and look for an early base. I'm surprised that Life let this probe walk freely, because sometimes you can cannon in this 3rd base if the Zerg player's not paying attention. Generally after a failed cannon rush, you can feel fine to just macro up indefinitely. We'll actually work on these rocks back here, and I don't think that Paralyze knows this. We'll see if he checks it later. Anyways, back to my story. Playing against a guy in the Gold League that was... Not only did he go 2 racks with tech labs to not make marauders or upgrade stuff, but he also got no orbitals, no turrets. So I had 2 banshees that went and cleared everything out, and it was just sad and funny in a way. Like, you kind of funny and like, haha, that was bad, but you're just like, ugh. Anyways, I only play a handful of games a season. That way I stay in the Gold League, and then I get to play troll style most of the time anyways. I likes me some trolling. These rocks are actually quite a ways down here. He's waiting for a sentry in the Mothership Core to get out to deal with these. But these rocks are going to be a pretty big weak point later on. No other tech yet from the Protoss player. As I said, failed cannon rushes really set things back. You don't want to get too early of a gas, otherwise all of your economy and stuff gets delayed. So a lot of the times you're going to see that Protoss players have to take a big step back on their teching up if they cannon rush you. So if you hold off a cannon rush and they've built 2 or 3 cannons and you kill it off or you expand somewhere else, they're generally just turtling up at home because that's all they really can do. So we'll get this probe. The probe just wanted to be able to see if there was a third base down, which it is, and it's almost done. But on the side up here, the early cannon does allow him to be able to build what he needs to get the early defense of this base. Now there are lings over here. Speed's on the way. Same with the Roach Warren. But he's got to come up here and scout for this third base. It's a pretty fast third base from Paralyze. Let's say his tech's going to be a long ways off. But it is important for Life to understand if this is happening or not. Wouldn't mind getting himself a couple of sentries here. Good force fields. Actually, very nice force fields. Mothership Core to the rescue. Creep spread started off here. It's not doing super great just yet. Really wanted to focus on those injects. Wouldn't mind seeing one creep tumor in the main. This base is really easy to, well, both bases. This map is great for throwing down drops. War Prism harassment is pretty spectacular. And you can bounce between the bases so easy that I like having a lot of creep playing this. Working on those rocks again. Sentry actually can't range. There we go. I was about to say, can it not range through that? That'd have been strange. Morling's on the way. Speed's about to finish up. He's going to try for the cancel. But with one cannon in place, I don't know if it's going to work. Roach is now on the way. Morlings. So this is just going to be a big pressure follow-up here. Can't get in there. Is hoping the door might be open. Another cannon's going down here. You sense the pressure is coming. At the pro level, you're not just going to make a bunch of attacking units just to flake around with. Like, you're going to build them in order to go attack stuff. Lots of roaches all the way across the map. Lots of cannons going down as well. Wants to hold on to this base. He's got no tech. Well, he just finished up his Robo and his Twilight, I suppose. So Mortals are started. Oh, it would have been great if he could have got that +1. That base is pretty hunkered down. Life's up by a lot of supply, but he's investing a lot into try to getting into here. Photon overcharge is in place. One Immortal in the back with 10 kills already. Another... No, that's actually the Warp Prism about to pop out. Oh, he didn't quite save it in time. The reason the Warp Prism popping out is sometimes cool is you can do really sexy micro with your Immortal, just pick up, drop. Probes and sentries coming from the third. He knows he needs to hold on here. He's actually going to wall off again, which is very clever. Lings on this side, they're actually running around because there's a block. A little bit unfortunate. Life's losing a lot of supply here. Paralyze is down to 50. This base has got too many cannons at it for him to try to take. Another Mortal has popped out. Doesn't really have a choice but to try to follow up attack here. He wants to save his Overlords. More roaches in production. If we look at the overall economy, see, Life's got a pretty good lead right now. He's up by 20 workers or so. He is going to bum rush this base, get a cannon, maybe a couple of probes. Not the most cost-effective use of these Zerglings, though, however. I mean, yeah, he is killing for stuff and denying mining at this base, but it's throwing away a lot of resources. Twilight really hasn't paid off into anything yet. Can't afford to get himself out anymore. Mortals spent a lot of his minerals. See all the gas for the Protoss player right now. Needs to work on getting out more minerals. Likely transfer some probes or something to this base or something, because it's just... without that gas, he can't get out those Immortals to hold off the next push. And he scouts the next attack coming in with these Phoenixes. Not too sure exactly what his plan is going to be. He lost his forge, so he can't make any more cannons. And I think Life is going to go for the natural again here. Sentries don't want to get caught out too far. Actually a little surprised that he's going for this third base. Thought he'd try to break the natural again. This base really isn't doing any favors to Paralyze right now. Did kill the cannon. Mothership Core is going to town up here. 9 kills. Throws another Photon overcharge. These roaches might be able to work through that in time. It's hard to say. Burrow's movement's on the way. Burrow is done, actually. He killed all the cannons. See if he remembers that he has Burrow. No sentries in play. I don't think he is, otherwise I think he would be burrowing right now and letting these guys regen. Looks like he will just get this Nexus. Units are into the main now. I actually think killing the Forge might not be a bad idea. That way he can burrow forever, essentially. More units just going to town everywhere. What's this Mothership Core up to now? Only 10 kills. It takes a long time to kill a roach with a Mothership Core. Burrow is done. Probes came back. Unburrow. Unburrow. Cannon on the way. Observer on the way. Actually, this is a great position to unburrow and pick off a few sentries. Doesn't look like he's going to, though. This is just a fugly kind of game. Like, there's nothing super finesse about this play. He will get that one immortal. No, he won't. Trying to focus down some sentries. He does get a couple there. Still fighting over on this side. Back at home, there's a Spire on the way. As soon as that Spire pops out, I'm sure Paralyze is just going to leave the game. I mean, he does have his attack and blink on the way, but essentially no economy. I don't think there's too many options for him. There's still some things to mine off in here. He's got the minerals. Gonna try to get another base again over here. Fourth base on the way for our Zerg player. Lots and lots of lings. The difficulty is no upgrades for the Zerg player. Protoss gonna have +2 in a second. Like, he's gonna mow through so much stuff. Does force another cancel. He's just going to try to muscle his way through again here. Just might be enough units, even with the severe upgrade problems. 14 mutas on the way. I don't even know if we're going to see them in action. Lost all of his immortals, all of his sentries. There's the GG. Pretty good follow-up game out of life there. Still super aggressive. Wants to go out there and be the person that dictates the pace. Taking it to game number 3. Tune in.